What up, nerds? Welcome to another spaghetti zombie episode of Straight Chilling, the weekly horror movie review show where you chill and we kill, slice, dice, and chop up yet another horror movie. My name is Bob. I'll be your host for the evening. This is episode 523, recorded Sunday, April 13th, 2025. Tonight we're talking about another You Pick the Flick. This one was chosen by your boy Hydraberg. The movie is Burial Ground from 1981. Before we get into it, let me introduce everyone else on the show tonight. First up, calling in from Washington, D.C., we got your boy Rand Diesel. What's up, Randy?
Buongiorno.
How's it going, buddy? Long time no see. It's been what? 5 days or so?
I know. Do you miss
6,
me?
something?
How much do you miss me?
Dude, I miss getting my oysters steamed, sharing a bed with you in New Orleans. Yeah, that was a lot of fun. My boy here
so
likes
dirty.
to rip them in his sleep. I'll tell you that.
Randy, let's. I mean, if we're airing out our dirty laundry,
Well,
come on. I'm not alone in this ass ripping business. Okay,
buddy. But I take pride in my work.
I'm ashamed.
Your problem is that you're ashamed of your work. You should embrace it.
I'm
Those
an
oysters
artist.
don't steam themselves, buddy.
I'm an artist in my prime. To be
An
fair.
anal artist. Yes, I agree.
In my prime. Last but not least, calling in from Seoul, South Korea, we got your boy Soju. What's up, man?
Oh, it's me spaghetti stains. What up, boys?
That sounded dirty too.
Let's go.
Well, to stay consistent with your butt jokes, it translates to "it makes me poop."
Oh.
Well, thanks
So there
for the
you go.
consistency.
Yeah, I'm nothing but consistent.
We're a reliable
Right.
bunch. Just
Yeah,
very
I know I can
regular.
always count on some butt jokes, so just go straight to the source. There, keep it consistent.
the source,
See,
the Italians.
That's the key difference between us. You guys are joking.
Randy's living that button.
I was born in it, reared by it.
God damn.
Reared by it.
Oh,
You heard that right.
How appropriate, Rand Diesel. How appropriate. Yeah, we're talking about another Italian flick, Burial Ground, an Italian zombie flick. Before we get into it, let's tackle just a little bit of housekeeping. So our May poll is currently posted over on our Patreon right now. We got 3 movies for you to vote on. This is Rand Diesel. This is actually your takeover month. What's going on? Why don't you tell us?
Oh, buddy, what isn't going on? So, my found footage theme did not take off in Halloween like I had hoped, so I kind of repurposed it and specifically geared a 3 film option towards found footage freakazoids or freaks. I forget exactly what the terms are I used, but essentially what it is 3 movies that feature killer motherfuckers that are central to the plot of this found footage. So we've got Be My Cat, we've got Milk and Cereal, and we've got Man Bites Dog. Interestingly, the dog and cat thing there, that's unintentional, but cool. So,
And then Breakfast. Why not?
and breakfast,
And
it's everything a
breakfast.
growing boy needs.
Sure.
Yeah.
Bob, how are those numbers looking?
Well, let me tell you. Be My Cat, last place with 20% of the vote. Man Bites Dog in second place with 30% of the vote. And everybody's favorite, Breakfast, Milk and Cereal, sitting at the top of the heap with 50% of the vote.
Love some cereal. Whoa.
Dry?
That's
No
kind of how I
milk?
expected this to go.
Just dry.
That's
ass
not what I
cereal.
said.
I mean, milk and cereal, and you left out the milk. So I was assuming.
It's implied, Bob, only. Well, some cereals can be eaten dry, but not a lot.
Okay.
Oh man, I don't have time to break into that psychosis, whatever that is.
Get your votes in
What do we
before the
got?
end of the month, and we'll see which found footage freakazoid we'll be talking about come May. We are dropping minicast every other Friday over on Patreon as well. We just dropped one this past Friday, the 11th, on The Gorge. That was your boy Soju talking about an Apple Plus original, I think it is.
Yeah, Apple Plus original, but it had Anya Taylor-Joy, Miles Teller, Sigourney Weaver in it, and yeah, it's a bit of an action horror, honestly. Anya Taylor-Joy and Miles Teller both played these kind of specialty soldiers that are doing some special kind of mission for their respective countries, and they kind of bump into each other and tag team a little something. Oh yeah, they do.
Just bump right into
Oh
each
yeah.
Whoa. But yeah.
Damn. Yeah, check that out over on our Patreon right now. Next minicast will be dropping on April 25th, and that is a minicast on Opus. Randy, I think that was yours.
That was one of mine. Yeah. It's been a minute since I recorded that, actually. So I'll have to hear what I have to say. I'll have to pay the Patreon fee.
It's about music and murder and, stuff. I have not seen it, so I actually have no fucking idea.
I haven't seen it either, yeah.
The stuff is what grabbed me.
The stuff. So you got that to look forward to. We all do, including Randy, actually. As far as Patreon goes, that's really all we got going on. We do have a brand new episode of Let's Get Physical Media. At the time of you listening to this show, it's already out. Your boy Mikey and myself are talking about our March pickups. So if you guys are interested in collecting Blu-rays, 4Ks, DVDs, VHS, check out Let's Get Physical Media everywhere you get your podcasts. A lot of horror pickups, but not exclusively horror. A little bit of everything.
Oh, Bob, did you spend all your Valentine's gift cards for that one? That was coming off of Valentine's Day.
Hundreds and gift cards for Valentine's Day.
Yeah, Alice just makes it rain Blu-ray gift cards.
Yeah, well, and all those side pieces too. You know?
Oh, it's definitely coming.
All the side.
It's definitely coming from the secret admirer, who I believe shares a last name with you and might be your mother.
Dude, my mom sent me a random text this afternoon and was like, have you ever seen a movie called Drag Me to Hell? And I was like, yeah. And she's like, I'm watching it. I was like, okay. That's a wild ride, Mom. Hold on.
That is an interesting choice for your mother.
Yeah, she'll throw on random horror movies every now and then and just ask me about it. She didn't like the ending. She thought it was sad.
Oh.
She wanted a happy
spoiler. Damn.
Yeah.
In this horror film.
I don't like soft ass shit.
Mom.
Now
give me a gift card.
Rob's mom. Now, where's my Valentine's gift card, Mom? I got blues to buy.
I gotta go to Target. Oh, wait.
It's what I'm expecting, okay?
My blues man is waiting on me. I don't have time for this shit.
Man.
If I don't get it, I'm pawning your TV, Mom. So you better hand it over.
Oh, we're going for a dream style.
Yeah, we're going hard. And I'm going to get you these diet pills.
No more drag me to hell for you, Mom, if you don't hand over those gift cards.
Oh, God.
That's all we got going on for Patreon. Check out Let's Get Physical Media. Also, we're going to be recording a wrap-up episode here in the next couple days, talking about everything that we saw at the Overlook Film Festival. Rand Diesel and myself were over in New Orleans checking out a bunch of genre pictures, hanging out with some of our friends, new and old, actually. Shouts outs to everybody that was hanging out with us in New Orleans for the Overlook. And that'll be dropping on our main feed, too. And we'll keep all that like spoiler free, since all those movies are like brand new, or a lot of them don't even have distribution yet. So make sure to check that out if you want to hear about some stuff to keep an eye out for.
Hell yeah, dude.
Go.
It was a good time.
Yeah, it was.
Include all the ripping ass, please. I want to hear all about it.
We mic'd up the bed sheets, so don't worry.
Lost your deposit on that one, eh, boys?
Oh yeah, they're not using that mattress again.
It's like Paranormal Activity, but just audio and scarier. Oh God!
Do you get paid more if they do stuff to your butt?
Usually.
We tried to pressure wash it. It's just not savable.
We had to burn it.
The hazmat guy says it's the worst he's seen.
And we're talking about New Orleans, so he's seen a lot.
Yeah.
We actually saw well, we'll get to it. I don't want to spoil that.
Yeah, we saw some shit.
We saw some shit.
Yeah.
Yabos.
Check that out.
No, opposite of, actually.
Oh no.
Whatever that means. That's all I got. Do you guys have anything you want to plug?
Think about it. You'll get there.
Caves in your chest? I don't know.
Just concave chest cavities. That's what we saw.
That's fucked up.
That is fucked up.
I don't want to see that.
No, I got nothing.
No, I'm clean, Bob.
Bob, how
You
clean is your
wish.
ass?
Yeah, I think we're squeaky.
His house is clean.
All right, let's get into the main event. We're talking about Burial Ground, and we're kicking it off with the back of the box.
What's on the back of the box?
Burial Ground, also known as The Nights of Terror, also known as Zombie 3, also known as Le Notte de Terror, also known as a giant nasty fart.
Bob, I saw you had this box.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, you bought it for this show, huh?
No, actually, so this was put out by Severin on Blu-ray and 4K. 4K. So I bought this a year ago, maybe a little longer than that. And
Rob, there's a suicide hotline for these sorts of things.
Yeah. So I did not finish it the first time I tried to watch. I got like halfway through and was like, Jesus Christ, I regret this purchase. I finished it this time. We'll talk about it though. This is from 1981. This is an Italian flick, unrated, with a runtime of 1 hour and 25 minutes, which is mind-blowing because it feels a lot longer than that. Directed by Andrea Bianchi, written by Piero Regnoli, stars Karen Well,
No.
Gianluigi Crizzi, Simone.
Why do you think I have this outrageous accent?
Simone Mattioli, some other. Karen Well is also in this.
And Karen.
And Karen.
Anna Valenti, Roberto
Karen.
Caparelli. A bunch of lovely Italian folks. Plot synopsis brought to you by IMDb is as follows. An archaeology professor discovers an ancient crypt which contains living dead corpses. The zombies go on a rampage and attack a group of people which the professor had invited to celebrate his discovery. There you go. That's the plot. Folks.
Boy, yeah, that is the plot. That's about it.
That's about it. Have we seen this movie before, and would you recommend people check it out? Rand Diesel, kick us off.
No, this is a first watch for me. Definitely not something that I knew even by reputation or anything like that. I was not even aware that it was an Italian film until I sat down and started seeing some hard to pronounce names roll through. So as soon as that hit, our natural feelings on this, generally on this podcast, have been that we've had some clunkers in the Italian category, and this is no exception. I do not recommend this to people. It's not one that you need to see. Maybe if you want to have something on deep in the background of a party with other things playing on top of it while you're playing fucking, I don't know, cornhole or some shit or beer pong, you could glance over and have a good time with it. That's about it.
Right on. Juice, what about you?
Yeah, I'd seen this a couple times before, actually. I actually kind of came up with this film.
You came up with this film?
I grew up with this film, and it was actually quite a formative piece of art in my life. It really kind of changed who I was as a person, So, yeah, I would highly recommend. I think this one's definitely a must-watch. Must purchase. That's a good buy, Bob. I support that buy. I'm glad that's sitting on your shelf. That's I call
bullshit on that.
That's an essential watch right there. Highly recommend from yourself.
Dude.
So true.
Knowing
is this going to be the bit? Are we going to commit to this the whole episode?
I'm on board with it, honestly. Knowing the one child in this movie and what happens with that child, and you watching this and saying it's formative is concerning. I'm also a little concerned.
We'll get to it, but I mean, child.
Well, yeah.
I don't know.
He's
Spoilers.
35.
Come on, we can't spoil this classic film, boys. Come on now, Bob.
Oh, she's a fancy flapjack.
You already said you had seen it several times. Bob, would you recommend this?
I watched it halfway through once and turned it off, and then I've now seen it in its entirety. No, I don't recommend this at all. There's no reason to watch this at all.
None? Not one reason, Bob?
My opinion, no.
Not even to save your mother from a sadistic killer, Bob. Come
I'm
on.
gonna text her right now and tell her you said that.
Your
Bob.
son said he'd rather let you die than watch this
Then watch
movie.
this Italian.
God damn.
Don't send him any more gift cards. He's got enough blues.
And lock up your TV so he can't pawn it.
Damn.
He's gonna try.
Damn. All right. Yeah. No. I think even if you are interested in watching like Italian zombie flicks, there's so much better than this. I just don't see a reason to watch this at all, really. So no, hard unrecommend from you.
Well, that sounds like a medium to loose recommend from the Straight Chilling crew right there.
That's the only aggregate of recommendation we ever give for anything.
medium
That seems like a
loose.
loose recommend.
We should
Well,
change.
that sounds like a slight recommend then
We
from
should
the
just
Straight.
never tighten our recommends, and Lord knows they can't get much looser.
We should change the name of the show to Medium to Loose.
Ooh, wow. That's
We
a whole
just-
different show, baby.
I mean, we're evolving. So yeah, that's
Don't steal my OnlyFans tag right there.
I
guy.
mean-
Come on now.
Juice loves it, but Randy and I hate it. So make of that what you will. We're gonna be spoiling this movie, I guess. And here comes your
already
warning.
have.
Here you go.
Spoiler warning.
So the important thing to spoil here is that these are a series of images that, when put together, form the illusion of movement, and it lasts around 90 minutes. That's as much extra spoiler as you get on this one.
Yeah, 24 frames a second.
Bob, this plot synopsis should be quite short.
It's one of the shortest I've ever written, and I still think it's too long. But
Okay, well,
it's pretty short though.
please let us know all about this film.
All right, here's the plot of Burial Ground. All right, a scientist studying an ancient crypt near a mansion unleashes an ancient curse. Buried corpses in the area are reanimated, and the zombies kill the scientist. 3 couples and one of their sons arrive at the mansion. The scientist previously invited them to come celebrate. The zombies quickly start attacking the guests, and they barricade themselves inside the house. The zombies begin displaying unusual levels of intelligence, using tools to break into the house.
Let me in now.
The zombies terrify young Michael, and his mother tries consoling him in a separate room. Michael starts kissing his mother and fondles her breast. She slaps him in the face. The group then decides to just let the zombies in the house with the hopes of distracting them so they can escape because they move so slowly. Evelyn looks for her son Michael, but he has been killed by a zombified Leslie. The remaining survivors escape and hide out until morning. They find a monastery, but all the monks inside are also zombies. The zombie monks chase everybody to a random workshop where they find the zombified Michael. Evelyn invites him to suckle at her breast, and he bites her nipple off. Mark and Janet are also killed in the workshop as a blurb appears on screen saying, quote, "The earth shall tremble, graves shall open, they shall come among the living as messengers of death, and there shall be the nights of terror." Roll.
It was fun.
Roll them credits there.
Guys, think about it. It's Italian zombies, though. I mean, you don't get that a lot. And they're unique. They're special. They're using tools. You can't tell me that scythe beheading wasn't badass.
That might have
Come
been the
on
best
now.
Can't tell
moment
you
of the
that.
movie. to
Is
be
that a
fair.
law?
Like, that scythe beheading was like, it made me go, hey,
That's the only, yeah. I mean,
That's
I don't know,
something.
man.
Right? Am
They-
I
they
right,
did
guys?
something.
Come on.
No,
right?
but you're less wrong than you're going to be for the rest of the episode.
that
to
is
keep this
something.
up.
Something happened, which was great.
It was the worst plot. I don't know. Like the way that worked did not make any goddamn sense, though. So it doesn't.
Yeah, but
really work.
In this movie,
It was at least
I don't
an
care
interesting weapon, I
because
guess.
something happened. This is like
Okay.
at least 80% watching people watch very slow zombies crawl and shamble, and then the people go, oh, 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 oh. But they don't.
Just like me.
They don't do anything. They don't like walk away. They don't run away. They just like stand and stare for way too long.
No, our boy,
that
he's
Austin
sharpshooting. He's he's blowing their heads off.
That dude just
Yeah.
starts
They do
blasting.
kind of explode with sparks, which I found
He is
interesting.
blasting,
they
yeah.
did
And you got the
I don't know.
practical effects. I mean, each zombie looks quite unique, and they put the time in to make the heads that explode when shot. I mean,
They don't take
you
the time
know.
to do more than paint their lips black and paste some teeth on top of it.
It looks
I
like they
noticed.
took a cherry pie and just like smushed it onto somebody's. That's the level of makeup on this. Like,
Look,
slightly better.
I'll say this: I kind of like the makeup. Genuinely, it's like it's lo-fi, terrible, but I kind of like it on site. I'm just like, this is like something you'd see at like a fucking haunted hayride or something, and I kind of like it for that. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah.
But there's just that's just all there is. Like I feel like you're right, Rob, that not a lot happens in this movie. Obviously, there's no plot to this fucking thing. But I also feel like this movie never really stops doing the one thing that it's doing, which is having people do exactly what you said, kind of like run away and kind of not, and then come up with like the simplest, like dumbest plans imaginable, or just sit there like this while like with their hands up going, ah!
They also do.
While they're
They do
getting-
bang a lot. There's a lot of banging. They're all very horny.
That's true. There
for
is some-
reason.
Yeah, it's about the loss of innocence and the juxtaposition between love, life, and death. Boys, come on now.
That's a good point. So that's why they've got this child cast by an adult, so that they completely blur the lines between the innocence of childhood.
Exactly.
And then like
You have two factions.
Yes.
You have the young,
50-50.
living, passionate, always engaged in passionate sexual relations with each other. The beauty of life, the beauty of Yabos. Then you have
Jesus
the
Christ, is this what your English
undead
teachers felt like?
over here. You have the undead over here
Yeah,
who
yeah.
are cursed to walk amongst the beautiful living. And in between, you have Michael. Okay, so he is the connection between them.
and he
How?
is representing the beauty of
The
incest.
loss of innocence. No, the
Representing-
loss
he's
of
representing the-
innocence, Bob.
The loss of
I don't think he has much innocence. That dude wants to take a little milk break in the middle of this fucking movie.
I mean, yeah.
Concerning.
You Americans, you're just so prudish.
You
I just-
American.
I don't know how much I should ask you about the last time you enjoyed mother's milk. I don't know if I'm ready for that conversation with you.
I don't need that
Call me-
2%. I want the whole ass milk. Warm.
Dude, there was like a really like it was even before that happened though, like the fact that they cast this dude who looks to be like 35 years old and he looks like a CPA, like
Dude, his
but he's
haircut
like a
is
short and,
brutal.
yeah, he looks like a CPA with a literal dick tip for a head. And
So
I just don't.
He was 25 years old, named Pietro Barzocchini, and he was cast as the young boy to circumvent the obvious like
Mama.
laws in place. Like if you just literally can't cast a child to suckle on a woman's tit in a movie. You know?
What?
So-
So did y'all have like the English overdubbing?
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Oh yeah, where the voice of the child man
It
thing
is
is.
brutal, dude.
Yeah.
Leslie!
Mama, I'm scared. It's literally Stuart from fucking Mad TV. It's fucked up.
It really is.
It's like the same fucking thing.
It's the same fucking voice.
Exact same.
Jesus Christ.
my
Michael McDonald
God.
ripped that off, man.
Leslie.
Mama, don't.
I'm your boy, mama. Which is the problem. When he says that, it's like, yes, that's the fucking problem. You can't grope your mother. It's fucking. This movie is that moment. This movie's not insane, but that moment is insane. It's like
Oh my god.
largely.
My sister. She's my daughter.
My sister, my daughter.
I wish that bump was
Throwback.
not so evergreen.
The mileage we get out of that bump is sort of mind blowing.
It's kind of fucked up.
It is.
This might go down as a very historical run of Patreon picks, though, for straight
As the
chilling. We've had
worst
some.
ever.
We've had
Yeah,
some
it's
bangers.
like a Jaguars season record right now.
Just when you think you hit rock bottom.
Any given Jacksonville Jaguars season record.
2025 has given us some big ones, apart from, Burial Ground or, this
from
movie.
Tomorrow.
We got Frankenstein's Army, and we got Elves, which is where the bump is
I
from.
enjoyed
So,
that. I enjoyed that in a way. Anyways,
so
And
the curve.
That
the
way
curve
must have
as
been
well.
drugs. I'm assuming
that
must have been.
Elves was at least actually like batshit crazy. This movie, this is like one of those. I mean, it literally says on the back of the box, "There's weird, there's fucking weird, and then there's Burial Ground." It's sleazy, gory, nonstop zombie carnage, and so completely off the rails you can't turn away. And it's actually mostly.
I don't know. I
boring.
think it's
Like,
distinctly on the rails. Personally,
it is. Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I don't
Like-
think it ever leaves the rails for a second.
Yeah, I'm just like desperately waiting.
I don't know, Rainey.
There-
How often do you see a child cast by a man?
That's like the honestly, that is like the most interesting
not on
and
the rails.
least
Yeah.
appealing thing about this movie at the same time.
And then have that character make out with its mother. How often do you see that outside of your
Look.
pornography collection?
Outside of my pornography.
Your personal.
Yes.
your
we-
personal.
We
My
know your
stacks.
brand. We know your
Man.
brand, Randy.
Okay.
This is one of those mini movies that was released as Zombie 3 in like various territories.
makes
I
sense.
believe also in Italy. I'm not 100% sure on that. It had like multiple names, which is like so Dawn of the Dead.
Why was it Zombie 3? Oh.
So I'll explain. Romero's Dawn of the Dead was obviously released as Dawn of the Dead in the United States, but then Dario Argento helped produce that movie, and he had an Italian cut that was released as Zombie 2 in Italy, which was sort of like a faux sequel to Lucio Fulci's Zombie.
Jesus.
So, and then to like ride the wave of success off of that, there was a bunch of movies released as Zombie 3 across various territories. This was one of them.
Man, those Italians are smart businessmen. I'll tell you that right now.
I mean, yeah, I say that to say like I don't think anybody like really put a whole lot of heart into this necessarily. I think this was just like a cash grab kind of thing. So, and like I think it really shows. I mean, there's some decent gore, I guess, but
No.
Did I mention the beheading
mean-
scene?
yeah. I mean, there's like some disembowelments.
I kind of like that the zombies bleed like curdled brown blood.
Yeah, when they
That
get
was kinda
shot, when the
interesting.
guy's shooting them, and down in the, or like when they
Oh,
come
really?
in
Oh.
and he's got the
Whenever they get
pistol and he's shooting, and it pours out. Yeah, that was pretty disgusting, to be honest.
Yeah, I didn't hate that
That
part
was
of it. Like,
effective.
there's little things that are like, all right. The thing is, like, this movie is just so goddamn repetitive. That's really the main issue. It's
Yeah.
like there's just nothing. There's nothing beyond what is happening on screen. Anything else you want to consider is not worth your time considering. Because if they wanted you to think about it, it would be on screen and you would be watching it, and they did not.
Yeah.
There's some head
Also-
bashings that were pretty
Yeah,
effective, I
I
thought.
was gonna say Leslie's zombie killing. Even when they stroll in to find old Michael, she's gnawing on some meat, his arm or something like that, and then she gets her head bashed in. Great effects.
I guess Michael does
Great.
bite some fucking bare titty meat off, so that's something.
Yeah, he does do
You don't
that.
see that. You don't see that.
Yeah,
every
that's
day.
not on the rails. That's totally off the rails.
Well, when I say it's on the rails, I mean nothing but these standard. Like nothing is happening but zombie attacks. The whole fucking movie. Nobody has a plan. Nobody does anything to help themselves.
Actually, they do
just
the
say,
opposite of
here's
what
our
most
plan.
people do: is let
Yeah,
the zombies in.
Yeah, based on what, like, there's no logic presented as to why that's a good idea. It's
So
like
He said they
well,
might
just
be
let 'em in.
looking
They're kind
for
of slow.
something.
Like,
They do
so
say,
let's just make them
like,
faster.
They do say let's open the doors and let them in, but then like immediately after that, you see the zombies get like a battering ram and they break the door down. So I don't know if they ever really do open a door to let them. They definitely say it though. I don't know, but the zombies do it. You know, they're quote smart, so they're using tools, which is
They're
like
using tools.
I guess would be kind of scary, like if you're gonna have some sort of like comparison between this and the Romero zombies, where they're just sort of brain dead and slow. These guys are slow, but are still smart. I wondered, like, if you were gonna have any plan at all as a rational human being in this movie. I mean, we see 3 cars drive up to the mansion at the beginning of the movie. At no point do they ever try and get back in one of those cars and drive away.
Maybe the zombies can drive, Bob. Did you ever think about that? They're pretty smart. They're using tools. Why
Show
can't
me
they
the
drive a
zombies
car?
driving
Rob, why
their
didn't you
cars off a
assume
cliff
this thing
or
I made
something,
up?
You know? Like, show it to me. Show me anything. Show me anything.
Oh, they did, buddy.
I like the music in this. I know the music is pretty hit or miss for us on these Italian.
Yeah,
movies.
the music was great too. I liked it. Classic soundtrack. Soundtrack of my youth.
Is the review over yet?
I love it. I love how much Justin loves this movie. Just really grew up with it. Formed
Grew
you.
up with
as
In
it.
fact,
as
I
a
like it so
human.
much. We're just going to let Justin take over, and we're just going to sit back and let him orate on this movie for another half an hour. Juice, go ahead.
Let me ask you this question though.
Oh,
Here's
okay.
something maybe you never considered before. So the zombies are clearly rotting flesh, right? They're just like falling apart. And even when you shoot them, just goo comes out, not blood. There's no blood running, anything like that. Wouldn't you assume that the brain is going to be one of the first like material pieces to deteriorate? So why is it so essential that you remove or like destroy the brain? Like, wouldn't that be like the softest matter that would just like disintegrate immediately after death?
Oh my god, I'm not ready to myth bust zombies here today.
Right. I mean, don't like even like to preserve a brain, they have to like remove it almost like immediately and put it in a jar full of like that liquid shit. So
the liquid formaldehyde.
This is a very
Yeah.
scientific
Jar
breakdown.
full of the
here.
liquid
so
shit.
why
Gotta
would it
put that
be
brain in
that
liquid
how
shit,
would the
right?
how would
Go
the
back.
brain be controlling the zombies like that? How what do
You
you, what do you
know,
boys think?
That's
Well,
why this
you're right.
movie's
You know what?
so
There is-
good.
This movie does have a plot hole in that, you know, the dead actually don't rise up and walk around and attack people. Wow.
That's why it's a
I never thought of it.
metaphor, you know,
Yeah,
for
the loss of
capitalism.
innocence.
You know, just like
I lost my innocence watching this movie.
oh my god! Tell us
yeah,
more
that's
about
right.
that. Were you doing it
there's no
doggy
more.
style so you could both watch?
I wish.
like a
I
gentleman?
truly wish.
Like a gentleman. You know, if the heart's not pumping, then the brain can't be controlling.
blood.
So, but that must be the really cool curse that we find out about. By the prophecy of the black spider, we find out at the very last second of this movie.
It's got
Juice.
a death curse.
Why don't you tell us all about the prophecy of the black spider and how that works
Yes.
in
Yes.
the movie?
Well, I don't want
All
to
right.
spoil it, Bob. I mean, people are.
Oh, we're on the spoiler.
anticipating watching it.
We're good.
I know, but we talked it up so much. All these people who haven't seen it before, you know, I want them to be able to experience it.
Oh,
Well,
no,
they can
yeah,
always
yeah,
turn
yeah,
it off.
yeah.
They can always
You-
turn it off.
you can
But
pause
yeah,
right now
You
if you
got
don't-
the floor.
if you don't wanna
you
know. Yeah.
You know, if
Come
you
back.
don't want to hear
Come
about
back.
the curse of the spider.
The black
But
spider.
also, you know,
prophecy.
another thing not on the rails. How often do you have a collection of like cult zombies? You know, that was pretty cool. And they stroll up in that kind of church cathedral thing, and they all got their hoods on, and you know, that's not on the rails.
I don't think that was very different from a priest or any other religious figure being a zombie, personally.
But they were all collectively worshiping as zombies. That's
Were they?
Maybe.
Were they worshiping?
They were probably worshiping the black spider. That was
Yeah.
That whole idea was laid out so well in the movie
black
that
spider.
it really paid off at the end. I thought.
Yeah, I really tied it all together. Bob, explain what it meant to you. When we found out about the black spider.
Each undead zombie was a leg of the spider, and
Whoa, like a Voltron?
yes, and the curse was the head of the spider controlling everything.
What's the
And
body of the spider?
It's the undead boy eating nipples, eating his mom's nipples. And that is the horrors of late stage capitalism.
What's the web of the spider?
Oh,
Democracy manifest.
yeah.
See, Bob, it's a metaphor.
Oh, it's a webaphore.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Whoa.
It's a deep, deep metaphor.
Yeah.
Curse of the Spider is swinging into theaters.
We're all stuck to the web of capitalism. Of life. And only mother's milk will save us. That's what the Italians believe.
Good
The
job.
Italians.
Thank you.
Italian.
Why is there
Yes.
a bear trap in the garden?
Hey, you never know when a bear's gonna cross into your garden, bro. I guess.
Like, there are a lot of bears in Italy. I mean,
Oh yeah, them Italian bears, man.
you know,
Yeah, the
They'll be
Italian
coming for you.
mountainside.
and I'm not talking about the husky boys. You know, I'm talking about just
Well.
regular ass bears.
Well, Rob, you can't pull the rug like that. I thought you were talking about the husky boys.
I mean, we all want
I
to trap
know.
us a bear, but not like that. You know what I'm saying?
Oof.
I know writers who use subtext, and they're all cowards.
Yeah,
Hey, what's
there
to say
is
about this movie?
Yeah, there's brown bears. There's brown bears in Italy. Yeah.
Okay. All
Okay,
right.
great.
Hey, can you guys tell me a name of almost any character or any character trait of anybody in this movie?
Leslie.
Oh,
Bob?
Michael's got terrible hair.
What does Leslie look like? What is
Leslie
There's a blonde lady
likes
with a mole.
to have sex with her husband/lover.
precisely? Yeah, that's about it, right? We know people like to bang.
She's a passionate lover, Bob.
I was
She's a giver.
actively trying to keep these people's names straight, and I was like, I can't.
That's a mistake.
because there's
Also,
they're not
Michael has a
characters.
stepfather, and his stepfather is not okay with Michael's behavior.
I didn't even realize that was a
what
stepdad.
a bad guy. What a
So
bad
when
guy.
they're banging, and Michael
Yeah.
walks into the room, and his mom could have
Well, hang
easily
on.
stayed under the covers, but jumps out and is
Hang on.
full blown naked in front of her son.
The amount of time between when that door opens
Oh yeah.
Well, that's the curse
literally-
of the black.
and
Spider.
when
literally
Michael shows up,
I feel like I'm proud. There's like a 90%.
that's if I had one
too much
ding
credit
on
but-
this movie, it
Really?
would be
That's like-
that scene. Because
That's
the door opens
fascinating.
and 10 minutes later, Michael shows up. That's
That's
the
the
one
one
piece
ding
I think
that
they
you're
could have
gonna
edited
identify.
down.
That's the door of fascism swinging.
That's the one
open.
thing that I thought maybe this is a reference to Nosferatu. Maybe because the shadow
Oh.
creeps in.
that is so
maybe.
generous.
I know it is. I know that.
You're the most
But-
generous man I've ever met.
Look, I had to
But when
entertain
he
myself. I was
strolls
watching
in-
Burial Ground.
That's just pretty funny though when he strolls in though. It's the the door open and the sounds
Yeah,
when the door opens and you're like, when's he fucking showing up? And then he just kind of walks.
like a literal he looks like one of the Greys with a wig on, and he's just brings his fucking I don't know his giant head into the room as slow as possible.
His haircut.
Don't
that would be
understand.
an epic Halloween costume if you dressed up like this.
How could you
Dude,
pull it off?
Just
Who
the
could do
wig
it?
and I guess a nipple in your mouth. I don't know.
Had to have all
Yeah,
the muscle
Bob,
mass in your
send us
body
all the
removed
pictures from
surgically.
Leslie,
All the muscle.
Leslie. Dude,
Leslie, oh,
the random shop with all the artifacts in it. There's like a bust. There's a stone bust with the biggest, roundest yabos, like right up front.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that bus has got some crazy yabos. That was weird. Yeah, why would a bus have yabos? It's so I didn't get
It's
that
in the
part
name.
of it. Like when they're driving around in this stone bus and it just had yabos on it, I was so confused.
You're confusing me now.
What in the fuck is happening?
The bus had giant.
That's the slight thing, though. I thought it was another metaphor. It wasn't quite clear
the curse of
why
the
bus.
spider's bust.
The spider has tremendous yabos.
But I thought they were going to get away in the bus, even though it had the yabos. I thought, well, that's kind of weird, but maybe this will be their escape.
Is this episode AI generated? What's happening anymore? Like, what the fuck are we saying? What are these words? We at least started with fart jokes, for Christ's sake.
I think what we're getting at is like it's okay for you pickers to like pick good movies. I want to go on the record and say that. You can do it if you want to do it.
We ran out of movies, though. I mean, really, this is the last classic we really had to cover, though. I mean, what's left for us? So we've got Burial Ground, and we did Elves and Misery this year. So really, we're kind of out of movies.
This is the last classic. There's nothing else. We already did Birdemic. I guess we could do Birdemic too. I guess.
Well, I guess that could be the next pick. Someone could pick for us.
I am not hopeful.
I think if you wanted to watch an Italian zombie flick, there's a lot of Fulci shit that you could. I mean, you could just watch Zombie. I would recommend that. The Beyond, which we have covered already on this show, that's better. City of the Dead is better. Living Dead at Manchester Morgue, Cemetery Man, even Demons, which I guess is like adjacent.
Dude.
I guess not straight up zombies necessarily.
Yeah,
but
it's
basically
close
the
enough.
same thing. Yeah, I don't know. There's just better.
And it's
better
fucking
stuff.
better lit and better music and better
gags,
it's
better action.
It's a better film.
Set pieces.
Yes. Yeah. Cool masks. It's great.
Bob,
Some
this might be a foolish endeavor, but about a year and a half ago, what prompted you to buy this film?
Mikey actually recommended it to
Of
me.
course.
And that's
Why did he do that?
I don't know. Honestly, he liked it.
Did he grow up with it too? Yeah,
It
he probably
formed
grew up
him
with
as
it like me.
As a man. It made him a man.
Makes a lot of sense. For who Mikey is. Yeah, I get that.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why I bought it though. And I was like, damn, dude. We don't always agree on stuff, but I put this on. I was like, I do not get it. I just don't get it. To be fair though, there are people out there that love this movie. It's not just a Mikey thing necessarily. Like I've seen a bunch of pretty glowing reviews, honestly. So I do think maybe this could work at like if you were at a midnight screening at like an old art house theater and it's like sold out and everybody's like shooting the shit and laughing and not taking it. It could be fun in that situation.
So
but
if you showed up to a place where no one was watching this film, then it would be fun. Is that what you're saying?
where no one was watching it? No.
Yeah, not paying attention, shooting the shit.
Oh, yeah. No, yeah. This is not a movie that deserves your full attention. No. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I would say this movie warrants maybe 2% of your attention.
Yeah, it is.
I think the rest of it can go anywhere else.
It is so short, and it feels like it's 3 hours long.
Now, I will defend that
Not even
to
90 minutes.
the smallest degree in that this is not the slowest moving terrible movie I've ever seen. Like
Not the
I think
slowest.
Redneck,
But it's slow.
Redneck, whatever the. It's it is. But like I actually did not check the timestamp until it was like literally like almost dead on the center of the movie. I managed to do that, and I was
Only 45 minutes in, and then you just had
I
to
know,
check.
like, but like I remember watching Cannibal Confederates, and like every 5 minutes I was like, this has to be a half hour later, right? Fuck. Like, and granted, I did get there after the half hour mark. It started to be that, but man, Jesus Christ! I just thought anything else would happen. Anything.
Yeah.
Anything at all.
Well, as long as you keep watching them doggy style, you'll be all right.
Well, next time I'll know better.
Like a gentleman. Anything else you guys want to mention about this movie? I'm just going to assume not, because there's not a lot Unless you really want to like crystallize the metaphor of this movie, Juice, for all of us dum-dums, you know.
I think I broke it down pretty good.
You did.
I think I did a
You're
pretty good job.
champ. We appreciate your work.
You know, loss of innocence and life and death and, you know, being forced to live on in a world of corruption and greed and hate. You know, it's all pretty much there on the screen.
There's a lot of layers.
Greed
actually.
and hate. That's a hell of a lot of layers that do not exist in this movie.
These people are like stuck inside of a mansion of
their own making.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and
yes,
they can't.
It is.
They can't get
it's
out.
a mansion.
So they
that
decide.
They made.
They decide to open the doors and let death creep in and crumble the mansion from the inside out. And that's the capitalism.
But they think that's what's going to save them.
It's just innocent, man.
That arrogance is their ignorance.
But then they turn to religion at the end, and even that fails them. And
it doesn't save them.
Yeah, and then
because they didn't worship the spider.
And then their spawn rips their tits off.
Nobody gives a fuck.
The youth destroys the old, Bob.
Yeah.
That's what happens. But only after the youth has been corrupted.
Am I gonna have to play every bump at the same time?
That is allowed in by the adults.
I mean, that's just Italy. That's what it is.
The adults let the death in.
Yes. Wow.
That was way too loud. What? I don't even know what the fuck that
was. Every bump at the same time. Can we move on now?
Randy, we're trying to talk. Damn it.
Oh, God.
And then the death destroys the youth, so the youth destroys the adults.
This episode is worse than the movie.
Impossible. All right, let's go ahead and rate this thing out of 5. Rand Diesel, you need to kick us off. Where you at?
Yeah, I don't feel positively towards this film. I feel less positively than I did before entering this chat. I'm going to just say 1 because I want to stop thinking about it forever and ever and ever. Amen.
Rand Diesel with a very generous 1 star from a very generous man. Juice, how do you feel?
I think this movie's so good and has so many layers and is so deep that it's almost unrateable, you know? So the only way I can rate it is by giving my standard half star for the Yabos, you know, and I'll just leave it at that because everything else is unrated. It's so good, it's unrateable. So that'll
so good. I have to give it a 0.5 out of 5. That's how good this movie is. It defies logic.
It's just unrateable in that way, but I can rate the Yabos. So, you know, that's what the score I'll give. Bob. Out of 5.
I thought you were going to give like a full-on troll score of a perfect 5, honestly. I was waiting for it.
It was like right on the edge. I know it was. If that ripcord gets pulled before you get done, Bob, it's in canon.
Did you feel on the edge, Randy? Was Juice putting you right on the edge? Did you?
Ooh, I've been sitting on the edge. Rob, what do you think of this fucking movie?
It's so boring. God damn, it's boring. It's hard to get through. The music's pretty cool. There's some pretty good gore, but like I seriously feel like at least 80% of this movie is just filler. And I think it's a cash grab. I don't really think anybody gave much of a shit about character or plot or story arc or really hardly anything. Probably other than the practical effects and like maybe whoever wrote the music. It's a snooze, man. It's a big snooze fest, and I don't like it. It's a 1 star. It's going to be a 0.8 from the 3 of us here at Straight Chilling. But if you bump that up for the unrateable greatness Soju's bringing, it's really a perfect 5 score, I think, honestly.
When you think about it.
You
got to be a thinker, though.
You grade it on a nonsense curve.
But if you don't think about it,
it's a real winner.
If you're not a thinker,
you won't get it. It'll just fly right by.
Then it's 0.8. But
I think I'm ready to never think again.
If you guys are listening to this show and you decide you yourself would like to pick a flick for us to review, you are welcome to send in an
please
email.
have mercy.
For the love of God. You're welcome to send in an email or a voicemail with your own thoughts and ratings. And let's see what Hydraberg has to say. Explain yourself, sir. Explain yourself.
Explain.
Yeah, that's a great message. I finally heard it now. What's up, man? It's Hydraberg. Just calling in because you guys are reviewing my Patreon pick this week, 1981's Burial Ground, a.k.a. The Night of Terrors, a.k.a. Michael wants to suck on his mother's breast. This is a weird one. I kind of passed down to me through Spoils of Horror. They kind of showed us, they covered this movie, and they've shown us at a cut above this film, and they talk about it all the time, and I checked it out, and it's a weird fucking film, man. Italian as fuck. It's got a really cool setting. I enjoy the setting. I like the smooth jazz that plays throughout some of the film. It's got a weird blend of music, much like Italian horror. Doesn't always fit, but it's got some cool gore, very bare bones sort of plot. There are some boring moments, I will say. Some fun kills, though. The zombies use tools. There's some decent gore, you know. It's 81. It's a lot of masks and, like, real bugs, maggots on their faces. But pretty cool. Some really slow zombies. It's a horny one, too, man. This is a very horny film. Even without the incest implications and stuff, you don't even need that. But yeah, it's a weird one though. I do like the ending. I like how like the monks are like the last dash of hope, and like it's done. They're zombies too, and everybody gets surrounded. You know, Michael bites off his mother's titty, and everybody dies a horrible death, very, very, very slowly. But overall, I mean, I don't know. It's not the best film. But I think it'll create a good discussion. I think in a group setting, it's probably fun, or over a podcast like this, we can have fun poking fun at it. So, yeah, I think it'll be a fun time, and I hope, you know, you guys can pass it down to somebody else now. Cause I'm done with it. But yeah, I'll give it 2 out of 5. Michaels! Anyway, guys, you know, keep chilling. Keep it creepy, man. Love you guys. Peace.
Man,
There is a
Hyderberg's an even
follow-up.
more generous man than both of you. Oh,
Dude,
Yeah,
I don't have it in me to pass this on to somebody.
No,
Like,
nobody watched this. Nobody.
That's the loosest recommend imaginable. Hey, there's a little bit of a follow-up here, though, from Hyderberg. Let's hear it.
Oh, part 2, you can use this enough, but I forgot I have to mention the Foley work. This movie, what the fuck? It was offensive. I can deal with, like, shuffling feet and loud footsteps, like the professor in the caves, but the constant banging the entire film, I didn't notice that the first time for some reason, but this time, holy crap. Anyway, I'm sorry you guys had to cover this, but anyway, enjoy it. Later.
The
There's
Foley
a lot
work.
of banging in this movie.
Yeah. This Hydraberg saying like, well, there's some pretty good gore, and well, I mean, there's some pretty good gore, I guess.
was there?
He said that
Yes, there
it
was.
gets,
Pretty good
it gets boring sometimes. What? No.
The man is stretching
When?
for his 2-minute review, and
Oh,
we're
I
getting
just-
till an hour. Oh, I love it. That's some pretty good gore, I guess. It's not great, but I mean, that's some pretty good gore.
It's boring sometimes. He said that, and my brain melted into fucking nothing. It's like I'm leaking brain matter.
Watching
right
the
now.
behind the scenes on this might be worth it, because when the whole time Hyderberg's like giving his review, Justin keeps leaning further and further and further until he's about to fall out of his chair, which was cracking me up. I recommend it. It's great. Thanks for picking this.
for the support.
Thanks
Thanks
for
for
the
the shot
support.
of my lord
I
of a
love
movie.
being
This
supported.
was
Thank you for supporting us. Your
I'll
boys.
always support someone supporting me, so thank you.
by saying thank you. Give me more.
Cool. Hey, let's see if this even has a score on Rotten Tomatoes. Let's do it.
I guess we'll find out.
Certified fresh to death.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is the Rotten Tomatoes segment in which I'm going to ask these gentlemen to guess within the best of their abilities what the aggregate positive score is on RottenTomatoes.com for Burial Ground. And Bob, you are spot on. There's just not enough raw review material to give an aggregate review.
What? Italian cinema?
See, I told you guys
Only
it's
4 reviews
unrateable.
counted.
Unrateable.
All right, 4 reviews counted for the tomatometer, the critics, and we're just going to breeze right on past that because there's no aggregate for that. There is, however, an aggregate on the poopometer, aptly named for the users. There are 2,500 plus ratings from the users, so there's good sample size from the users here. I'm going to start with Juice. Juice, why don't you kick us off here? What do you think that the aggregate positive score from the users, those 2,500 plus people, is going to be?
I have no idea. 2,500. There's enough weirdos out there. This might be kind of weirdly high. 45%.
45. All right. Bob, you think it's under 45? You think it's over 45? Where are you coming in?
Yeah, this is a weird one. That's like kind of a surprisingly high number of reviews. Honestly, I wouldn't expect quite that many. But I gotta take the under just for my own sanity.
On principle.
I think. So I'll take a 35.
All right. 35 from Bob, 45 from Soju. One of you is just 6 percentage points away from glory. The correct answer being, of course, 51%. 51%. Soju's going to take this one away.
That's a hell.
I was really hoping somebody would go 50 and the other person would $1. I was really hoping for that scenario, but you know what? Can't have it all.
Let's just do it again and pretend.
Okay,
okay. Cut
Bob,
this out.
what's your guess,
guys? We gotta rig this to make this show more interesting. So let's go back a little bit and let's redo the Rotten Tomatoes segment. And,
buddy, if
Randy,
we haven't lost them by now, I don't think we have any worries about losing it.
I'll totally remember.
If they got through.
Rob, write down your little book that Charles keeping over there.
If they got through the fucking loss of innocence bit, then I think they're in the bag for us for life at this point.
If you're still around, you're truly hard with us. There's like 3 of y'all left.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right. I'm going to go ahead and read a couple of reviews from the users just to see if any of them are funny. I actually did get a chance to look at a few of these in advance. Here's the first one. This is right down the middle score. Ridiculous, but never boring. The zombies are smarter and stronger than the people they are after, so it ends just like you would expect, except the part about the 30-year-old looking child that bites his mom's nipple off.
I expected that.
3 stars.
I saw it coming a mile away.
When is that nipple gonna come off? Come on.
Who needs 2, really? Just being greedy.
All right, let's read one more. I'm trying to find a really glowingly positive one here. Okay, here we go. 5 stars. What's not to like about this film? Cruddy but creepy zombie makeup, copious revolting gore, nonsensical plot, horrible acting, awesome synthesizer soundtrack, and a dwarf portraying a child biting off his mother's nipple. It's an Italian zombie extravaganza.
What's not to like about that, honestly?
Is he a dwarf?
5 stars. I mean, he's pretty short. Like he's short in
probably.
stature.
Yeah.
But
I mean, I didn't measure.
He seems like he has some sort of medical
he doesn't really have
condition,
the dwarfism. Like
he looks like a hobbit. Like that's the scale of this man.
He looks like I think Randy's right. He's got that thing where it's like he's got no muscle mass.
Well, he's 25 apparently, and he's titty height. So whatever that means.
Perfect height.
I don't
call
know.
that?
Yeah.
We call that the perfect height, actually. One more negative review. 1 star. Crappiest movie I have ever seen. Only reason why I give this film any points is because the zombies were cute. Yeah, that's correct. They were cute. That's what this person says. This person loves maggot-faced weirdos. So Good for them. Somebody for everybody.
There is some, never lose hope.
And sometimes
if there's 2,500 people that love burial ground, there's someone out there for you.
And if you can't find someone for you, start digging up corpses,
Bob.
We learned that from Dead Lover.
I don't support this.
Whoa. You supported everything up until this moment. That's what.
This is where I draw the line.
Sometimes dead is better, is what I'm saying.
Oh, boy.
This is where I draw
when there's
the
no more
line.
room in hell, there's not enough timeshares in hell, Bob.
I know. You just gotta. Never mind.
Hey, let's move
I'll
the fuck
stop.
on.
Yeah. Okay.
That's fast, I
I'll
think.
Stop. Is there trivia? I guess. Let's do it. Let's just do it.
It's totally time for trivia.
I'm told there's totally time.
Yeah, there's some stuff, I guess. The movie was shot in 4 weeks. How did this take 4 fucking weeks to shoot? I don't know. At the Villa Paris in Frascati, I don't know, 20 kilometers away from Rome.
Ooh, that is one positive. I really liked the castle in this movie,
Yeah,
as
it was
a
a
place
castle.
to shoot. It was a cool looking spot. They had that going for
It
them.
was near Rome.
Anyway, go ahead.
And that's where they shot. The workshop set at the film's climax was also featured in Dario Argento's Inferno, Luigi Cozzi's Contamination, and Antonio Margaretti's Cannibal Apocalypse. So it's frequently used, apparently.
All right.
Here's the last bit I have. The Black Spider was allegedly a real person, and he was a prophet. His true identity was most likely Federico Martel, and he foretold future events like the 2 atomic bombs being dropped on Japan, the disaster at Chernobyl, the AIDS epidemic. I don't know if any of that is remotely true, but that's some trivia that I found.
You think that's impressive? Check this out. In the distant future, you will see some awful things occur. Earth-shattering problems will arise, and the entire face of the planet will change forever. All right, we're good. That's my prophecy. That's a prophecy of the Randu.
Damn.
All right.
Well, that's a doozy, Rand Diesel.
I know it. And when it happens, you guys can't come crying to me.
Can I write
told
you a check or something, or what?
Oh yeah, the collection
Where
plate's
should we
coming
send
around.
it?
Straight Chilling headquarters, probably.
Yeah.
That's
Give it
fair.
to me. I handle the money, and I make sure I divvy it out.
Make it out to cash.
Make it out to my boy Cash.
So digging
Cash
up
Chilling.
digging up corpses is a bridge too far, but wire fraud is a-okay.
It's not fraud if they send it, Randy.
If they want to send me
that's
money for you, Randy, then that's
citation
their,
needed.
they're adults.
it's a
They can make
tax
their own
write-off.
decision. It's really a win-win.
I mean, come on.
What
Don't
if
give
I
your
won?
money
I
to
did
the
not.
corrupt government. Give it to Straight Chillin'.
Cash Chilling.
Oh,
Write it
Christ.
off.
Just write
You're
it off.
welcome.
It's for a good cause.
Your cause.
A
You're
moral-
helping you.
A moral cause.
You are helping you, and you are welcome.
Right.
Well, that's all the trivia.
Cash Chillin'.
Let's I don't know. Let's talk Cooter of the Week, I guess.
I guess.
Straight chillin'. Cooter of
Juice. What is a Cooter, and why is it this weird Michael child man?
Well, Cooter's a character type and a Straight Chillin' exclusive. Cooter has to hit 3 of these 5 points to be considered a Cooter. But, of course, we want the Cooter with the most points.
Of course.
The 5 points, of course.
Of course.
Logic says we want the Cooter with the most
Logic.
points.
Not the least.
Yeah,
For those
the
taking
5
notes at home.
The 5
This is
points
not
of
golf
Cooterdom
rules.
are sexual deviance, manipulation, smug arrogance, overall looking attire, and overall patheticness.
I mean, it's Michael. I mean, you just all five, just already. We got him.
Bob. Okay, what does
What's it
he
about
hit?
this grown man in a turtleneck and a dick tip haircut that wants to
could
suck
be
his
wrong?
mama's titties?
What's wrong
What
with
is
that?
your problem with
What could
him, man?
be-
So what is his smug arrogance, Bob?
Dude, when his mom
Bob.
slaps him in the face and he's like,
Mm-hmm.
I'm your son. Like,
Man, that sucks!
like regardless of age, you just are cool to suck your mom's tits. Is I don't know.
Come on, ma.
That's
I'm
how
thirsty.
he was raised,
oh.
Bob.
I'm,
Hey,
Oh, whoa! What's the
thirsty
problem here,
here.
ma?
Oh,
Come on.
I'm 8
What? I
years
can't get a little
old,
something
Ma.
to drink. What's up? What's the problem? You want to nourish your baby boy or what?
you don't want my growth to be stunted, do you? Pop that tit out, you shite.
Oh, let
Get
that
shaggy.
kitty meat out there.
Shaggy.
I'm gonna suck on that shit.
Damn. Right out, you shite. I think we got the wrong Italians.
These accents are.
Oh, whoa! I don't know.
Hey, I'm
Got
making the
nothing there.
buffalo mozzarella. I need some titty milk. Oh,
What the buffalo?
that's how you make it, right? Did I?
Oh,
Did I
my
misunderstand?
lord.
I love. It's very cool that Italian is like one of the few ethnicities that's totally cool to rip on.
Yeah.
What the
Well,
fuck?
they made better
Strange.
movies. I mean, come on.
I mean,
They're
they
so
have.
So
I
many
mean,
classic
definitively,
films.
definitively, most of their movies are better than this.
Like, this is the best Italian movie that's
I mean, this is what they said. The best of the best. Come on,
Burial Ground is the pinnacle of Italian filmmaking.
Italian filmmaking has never been this good before.
Oh, I love that idea, though. That's hilarious. It doesn't get better than this.
Damn.
Yes, kids, smug arrogance, I think, for sure. Sexual deviance. Yeah.
Pathetic.
Yeah.
Looking
Oh,
attire. Oh,
Looking at Tyre, that turtleneck's doing your giant head no favors, my guy. You could do with a deep V or
When
something.
he first showed up in the car, I mean, it was like the very first scene. I was like, "What's going on?" I was,
yeah,
What is this?
I was not okay from the start.
yeah, man.
That's a man.
that is a. I can see a vein throbbing in his temple the entire movie.
Whoa, that's not
I
a temple.
didn't think you were going to say temple.
Why? What, you saw his dick through this movie? Is that what I'm hearing?
That's not what I said. That's what you were gonna say.
That you're saying it.
That's what I was going to say. Oh, I didn't know.
Yeah,
somehow.
you swerved it.
Thanks for informing me.
Because you got
Don't put
that
those
was-
words
that was
in my
me.
mouth, Randy.
Yeah,
That's
you got-
in your mouth.
How dare you insert those thoughts into my brain?
All of those thoughts were in your mouth. That's not us.
Well, excuse me, Mr. Man.
Ooh, how about Heidelberg? I think he picked this on purpose. He's trying to. He's
Speaking
trying
of
to.
Italians, you know,
He's
that's,
trying to
It's a The Ring
sabotage our
situation.
show. That's what it is.
manipulation check.
Yeah,
Ooh,
manipulation through currency. Yeah, he's buying up the influence and
Uh-oh.
tanking the
The
show.
cut
in that
above
way.
straight chilling feud starts now.
Vengeance will be mine, blow.
It's a coup de boove.
It's a coup de boove.
A kuta beef.
A coup de boove.
Oh yeah, I don't know. Everybody's banging in this movie, but it all seems quite consensual.
Yeah, they're just.
so.
It's interesting that this scientist was like, "Hey, I made a great discovery. Come to my mansion," and they're all just like, "Orgy."
Yeah.
Like,
Also, who are these people? What is
we
their
don't
relation
know.
to
We
each other?
No.
Why would the scientists call them? What do they do?
No.
No,
They're friends of science.
friends of science. Come support my religious discovery.
The movie has no real plot or characters
I
or
see.
development. It is.
No. Well, when you put it that way, I never thought about that before, Bob. When you break it down like that, it makes me want to change my score.
Oh yeah. How low can you go?
Really more of a 4.5 star than a half star.
You should have brought that up in the review, Bob. I didn't really think about it
Really,
that
just
way.
sitting over here with my thumb up my ass, really, for an hour. Just-
God, you got to stop doing that, Bob.
Sorry.
It's not what thumbs are for.
They're not ass plugs.
You're never gonna get that nail clean, Bob.
Damn. How dirty do you think I am? That's
Well, apparently, according to Randy, quite filthy.
We need a real fumigator to come out and assess that one.
just had to burn the Airbnb down. Really, that's all we got for Cooter. It's Michael. We got him. Let's talk about what we've been watching this week.
Hey gang, what you been watching?
Rand Diesel, what you been watching?
Well, I mean, setting aside the glut of films that we watched at this year's Overlook Film Festival in New Orleans, as mentioned previously, which we will be getting into at a later date. Setting that aside, still burning through Righteous Gemstones. I think episode 3 or 4 of the last season, I guess. And I'm still enjoying it quite a bit. Sean William Scott took me by surprise, man. I just did not recognize him at first. It's crazy. But that show is fucking Keith is out of control. Like,
He's
I don't
so
know,
fucking
man. There's
funny, dude.
So fucked. Like, and Judy, everything Judy says is like the most crass, obscene thing I've ever heard in my life. And I mean, if you've listened to this point in this podcast, you know that I'm down for that shit. Yeah, I'm loving that show. It's really, really fun. Stick to that, DGG. And then I don't know. I don't remember if I brought this up last time or not, but I did watch The Woman in the Yard. And I'm still toying around with the idea of doing a mini episode, but I will say that it was reasonably good. Like it was reasonable. That seems to be like the going rate this year. It's like this was good. This was fair for new films. So I don't know. And then one other new film I watched was Hell of a Summer, the Finn Wolfhard and I forget the other writer's name. Summer camp slasher, which was also fair, not great, not terrible, fair. Might do a mini episode, might not. I don't know exactly what to say about it, but I did enjoy seeing what's her name, Bob?
Rosebud Baker.
Rosebud Baker, a friend of the show who I did not really realize that. I missed that whole connection until Bob informed me, and I did watch her stand up, and she's very funny. She's in this movie very, very briefly, and not a particularly comedic role, but just quickly in and out of it, and it's just kind of neat. That's all.
Shouts outs to friend of the show Jackie, who was actually hanging out with us in New Orleans for the Overlook Film Festival.
Oh yeah, Jackie posted that on Slack. That's right. I meant to check. That's on Netflix, right?
No, it's in theaters.
No. The stand-up special is.
The stand-up is on. Oh, I gotta check that out. What was it?
It's called The Mother Load. Rosebud Baker.
Yeah. So I guess I could actually add that to the list because I've watched that this week since coming back.
Funny.
And
it's really
it's pretty funny. Yeah. Also very crass. Okay. So hey, there you go. That's really about it for me.
Shout it to my watch. Yeah. Okay. Good.
Yeah.
Juice, do you want to pick up from there?
Oh, yeah, I can. So I watched a new horror film from the director who made Train to Busan. It is on Netflix. It's a Netflix. It's called Revelations. It's a different kind of religious horror, one that we don't really see that much. It was okay. It had some interesting ideas going on in it, but it's nowhere near Train to Busan levels, but it's an okay watch. I also have been watching this show on Apple TV since I finished Severance, which is called Silo. Has anybody watched any of Silo?
Dude, my watch group for Severance has been begging us to watch Silo.
What do you think? Yeah, it's pretty interesting. It's another like mysterious show, but the premise is you go into this community and they live in this silo and they have lived there. Like nobody who is alive knows why that they live there or like how they got there or like how society started there. Any kind of like old history about the community is like lost or purposely destroyed in this like rebellion, and they have these like giant windows that look out to the outside world, and it looks like it's like completely dead and desolate and apocalyptic, like you poisoned, like you can't go outside. And so they have to like regulate things like people, when people can have kids, so like everybody's automatically on birth control, and they like regulate a time period to be able to have kids, and like just like things like that, you know, like because it's a really small community in this tight space or whatever. So it's interesting. It's an interesting show. So yeah, I would generally recommend from what I've seen so far. So yeah,
right.
It was quite interesting. So let's see, I watched Revelations and I watched Silo. That might be all I've been watching that I can think of. Yeah, I think that's it. Bob, what you been watching?
A couple things since we got back from the Overlook Film Festival. Joe Bob did another double feature where he showed Intruder, which is like a 80s slasher movie. And I checked that out with his commentary. That movie really holds up if you're into the cheesy 80s slashers. Movie. Yeah, dude, it's really, really like better than it should be. I feel like there's a lot of like really great kill sequences and a lot of really interesting camera work. Like I feel like they do a lot of creative stuff that most filmmakers probably wouldn't have done if they were making this slasher. It's set in a grocery store too. You see some cameos from Bruce Campbell, Ted, and Sam Raimi, as well as produced by Sam Raimi. So definitely good checking that one out. He also did In a Violent Nature, which I just, since we recently reviewed that movie, I kind of skimmed through the actual movie and just watched some of his commentary. He seemed like mostly warm on it, but like maybe a little dismissive of like the meta slasher stuff, which is, to be fair, well-worn territory, but still interesting to get his commentary on that. Other than that, I've been blasting through season 4 of The Wire. We're about halfway through that season. It's great. The show's generally just great, but that season is I'm bracing for impact, you know, because heavy stuff.
My boy Randy out there selling some goods.
Yeah, there's some heavy stuff. Wrapped up Lotus season 3. I really enjoyed it. I think it's probably my least favorite of the 3 seasons so far, but still really good. Definitely worth checking out. Also, Everybody's Live with John Mulaney, which is that Netflix show. It's like a talk show that he's been doing, and it's live every Wednesday night, I believe it is. I've been enjoying that. Just kind of goofy, easy to throw on, different guests with a different topic every show. The stuff that Netflix has been doing with like the live programming has really been interesting to me, but like anything else feels shitty. I just don't really like their like original films necessarily. Like I don't know. They feel lacking lately, but the live programming I'm kind of digging. Okay. And then, Hell of a Summer. We went to the theater and watched that today, and that is definitely a movie that you can watch if you want to do that. It's fine.
We should do that mini cast maybe.
Yeah, we can. We can definitely do that. It's not like the worst thing I've ever seen. Kudos to Finn Wolfhard for like, you know, directing already. That kid's so young.
Yeah. That's the thing is like it does not blow, which is remarkable for filmmakers that young.
Yeah. It's watchable. It's competently directed.
Save it for the mini-sode, Bob.
Okay.
Yeah, all right.
I guess I'll shut the fuck up. That's what I've been watching. That's it. That's about it. We do have a couple of voicemails to get to. Let's go and jump over into our Hotline Screams.
Hotline Scream.
If you guys would like to call in and leave a voicemail to be featured on next week's show, hit us up at 904-638-3231. We got 2 voicemails this week. First up, we're going to hear from the librarian. Let's hear what she's got to say.
Howdy. It's the librarian, as I said. I'm answering the prompt, which was, what movie would you go back in time to see in theaters for the first time? As we all know, I have a diagnosed case of Sawtism, so I will be picking Saw. That shit would go crazy in the theater. I cried when I saw it in theaters, having already seen the movie. When Adam just screams at the end, I shed a single tear because that's my baby girl. Anyway, I'm calling before I head to the airport to go to Overlook with you divas. Hopefully by the time this airs, you guys will have found me endearing and fun and not annoying and atrocious. But we'll see. We'll see. Maybe I'll be the fourth host because Bob and Randy will find me so much fun. Who knows? Bye!
And now welcoming to the podcast, the fourth host, the fucking librarian. Here she comes.
And with that, I've announced my retirement. She's going to be replacing me. So thank you for all your
natural fit.
But who can tell the difference, really? You're basically...
We needed somebody to pick up the slack that you the void of female opinions.
Oh, yeah.
You leave
you
behind.
bring so loudly.
Yeah. I know.
Yeah.
So loud.
Does it?
We had a great time with Ripley in the.
Oh yeah.
Or with
the librarian.
I don't know what
Randy.
Sorry.
Well, as long as you don't drop the social security number, I think we're probably all right. Yeah, we had a great time in New Orleans for sure, and it does it stings a little bit to hear people say I would love to go back in time and watch a movie in theaters for the first time about a movie that I definitely saw in theaters when it first came out.
But it takes the edge out. It takes the sting out of it quite a bit when you pronounce it "saw." I love that. I love saw movies. It's so I love that New York accent.
I do remember.
Boston, right?
Seeing that.
Boston. I don't know. Whatever it is, it sounds great.
Let's just put her exact address out there for everyone.
Okay.
Right
okay.
Now.
69
742 Evergreen
Baltimore
Terrace.
Road.
Nice. It did go hard in theaters, by the way. Very, very hard. Sold out show. On a weekend, people were losing their fucking minds.
People were shitting their drawers, dude.
Including me. I shit in my pants in the theater for real.
Just left it all day long.
I did it. I just dropped Trow and left him in the theater and walked out.
Bob, were you old enough to be in that theater? Were you there legally?
I mean, legally, no. Old enough,
so.
yes.
Old enough to get myself there, but not legally watching it.
Mm-hmm.
I was breaking the law like a dirty bird.
I would argue the perfect age for it.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Thanks for calling in, librarian, and more so, thanks for hanging out with us in real life. Faux show.
For real.
We got one more coming up from your boy Chris. Let's hear what he's got to say.
Hey, Straight Chilling crew and Sexy Dracula. This is Chris in Louisiana. Hope you guys are having a good time at the Overlook Film Festival. I just wanted to call because that was really sweet of you guys to put up the content this week, even though you guys weren't going to be recording an episode. When I was listening to the last episode, and you guys were talking about how there wasn't going to be a new episode, I was just initially assuming, just going to go without Straight Chilling for a week, which, you guys, have every right to do, but... to upload something off of the Patreon that maybe some of us haven't heard. That was really, really cool. And, for it to be probably a breakdown of my favorite franchise in the entirety of horror, that was just really extra cool for me. But the thing I wanted to mention, too, was the little shout out for the game, the story about Bobby Jarvis. And it was such a cool game. I remember it was really buggy for the first month or so when it came out, and then that kind of sucked. But when they fixed it and they expanded the servers and, it wasn't really having any issues, it just maybe the most fun I've ever had, with a video game, especially multiplayer, because I usually don't do multiplayer. But, before the people started exploiting the map and cheating and, so many people just playing honestly and naturally. It couldn't be beat, and it created so many great memories. And I don't know if you guys had heard about it, but they recently shut down the servers. They stopped making new content because of the lawsuit, but then They gave it like I think 2 or 3 years, and then they had told everybody that they were going to shut down the servers. And I don't think people anticipated, how devastating it was going to be. It seems like the experience ranking was tied in with the servers, so when you try to play now, you can't even play single player with bots. I mean, you can, but it locks out all of the skins, so you only essentially have 2 Jasons that you can play with. It's a bummer, because that was such a fun game. I would play, with the bots every once in a while. You can do the storyline missions, and you can kind of explore the museum that they have, but I don't know how deep you guys got into it when you were playing, but anyways, it's a damn shame. Thank you for the shout out for the game. Thank you for the, the content for this week. So again, hope you guys are having a great time. Thanks. Bye.
Yeah. Oh, thanks. Yeah. Thanks for the kind words. I will say that was even before COVID time, but it might. I'm not sure. I honestly don't know. We upload the episodes and behind the scenes and extra content and stuff, but our streaming that game might be somewhere deep on our YouTube page. We've got 500 plus videos or something, but it might be on there back in 2018, 19
maybe.
Yeah, we had several sessions where me and Bob and just a lot of people from the Slack got squads together and would play Friday the 13th, and it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun back in the day.
Yeah, I'm not a gamer at all, and was horrible at that video game, but I really enjoyed it though. I got my little headset, and it's the only online game I've literally ever played in my life, I think. But yeah, it was super
cool.
fun. Yeah,
I only ever played that a couple times myself years after you guys did, just because it became available on the Switch much later, and that's all I have. So yeah, it was all right. I was terrible at it. I just liked really going around that museum that he mentioned, and looking at all the nifty doodads.
It was it was a cool setup, and the maps that they had were cool, and just the ideas of it was it had some really cool mechanics, and especially I think the thing that made it extra special was anytime we played, it was just our squad, or we would have eight-ish people from our group, and we'd
there is an
one of us would end up be Jason or whatever. There's
an hour and a half gameplay.
That's awesome.
On here from 5 years ago.
That's
awesome.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So the show was
7 views, doing numbers over here.
About to get 38, son.
Bobby Jarvis over there. Yeah. So that was a lot of fun.
That was, yeah. Oh, glad you enjoyed listening to our little Friday the 13th recap. It was fun listening back to it because we recorded that 3 years ago, and I hadn't listened to it since.
4 years ago, wasn't it?
Maybe. No, I think it was 3.
This YouTube says 5.
No. We're talking about the Patreon thing we just released.
Gotcha. Okay.
The rundown of all the Friday the 13th movies and stuff. Glad you enjoyed it. It seemed like it got mostly positive reception. There was a couple
negative.
Couple YouTube haters. I feel like the biggest haters always show up on YouTube, and they're like, actually, you guys don't fucking know anything about Friday the 13th.
We don't know.
We know.
It's like, okay, well,
you didn't just cover all 12 films in the franchise.
I can't
talk
tell you
about them in
1 hour. Yeah. Okay. Well,
I can't tell you how many negative comments we have complaining that people clicked on our review that says film review on it and thinking that it's the actual movie.
This is not the movie.
Bullshit.
Fucking shit.
Hey,
never.
I see you can write. Yeah. Can you read?
Film review.
Yeah. Been that way for a decade, y'all.
I know it. It just makes me laugh, honestly. I don't know. People are dumb's gonna dumb,
Whatever.
True that.
We're living proof of that shit.
Yeah.
Dumb's gonna dumb.
Can't stop, won't stop. If you guys, again, are listening and would like to call and leave a voicemail for next week, hit us up at 904-638-3231. Do you guys have a prompt in mind for next week?
Yeah, troll us. Call in. Make us weep. Mean comment our asses. Let's go.
Damn, Randy is
Randy's getting
trying
excited.
to rub one out. Yeah, it's mid-show.
Is that what you do when people are mean to you? But Jesus Christ.
Weep.
Make me weep out of my dick tip.
Whoa. You got to pay extra for that, Randy.
Yeah, you do.
I was just gonna say recommendations for spring horror movies. You know what you got?
That too, I guess. I guess
guess
if you
that's
want to
a
be all
little
fucking
vanilla.
prudish about
Yeah,
it.
I know.
What's your Easter horror favorites? What's the golden egg of this season?
I forgot it. Is it Easter next Sunday?
Yeah,
Next Sunday.
Really? Oh, damn.
He is rising right now.
Not in Korea.
Not to
He's
be.
not.
Not to be. No. Okay. Wow. Buddha said no. Get back down.
We got that Good Friday on Friday. So
Whoa.
whatever you do
Make
on
it
Good Friday,
extra good.
Whatever you do on
do that.
You do good stuff on Good Friday.
Do good stuff. Do good stuff.
All right.
That's it. Call in with, whatever the fuck, 904-638-3231. Yell at Randy, make him cry, make him jerk off.
It's going to be great because I'm definitely going to forget that I prompted that, and they're going to be really mean, I hope, and I'm going to be upset.
Randy Diesel.
Be only mean to Randy. Be kind and nice to Bob and I.
Yeah.
That just seems cruel.
I always support people supporting me. You know that.
All of a sudden.
Wow, what a principle to have.
We'll be back next week with another brand spanking new review. We're talking about a new release to most people anyways. This is a movie that we actually saw last year at the Overlook Film Festival, and we were wondering when the fuck it would get picked up for distribution. Turns out the time is now. The movie is called Dead Male, and it's going to be hitting Shudder this Friday.
Finally. Fucking finally.
Friday the 18th on Shudder. This was one we were like really hoping to talk about last year, but better late than never. Definitely slam it into your eyeballs. Get ready for next week's show, Dead Male. Check it out. Until then, Straight Chilling Podcasts on all the social medias. Just search that. We'll pop right up. Check us out over on Patreon. We got over 150 mini casts. If you enjoyed that episode we dropped last week.
50?
Over 150.
Oh, I was about to say, we got a lot more than that.
We got over 5 mini casts.
150.
You can listen
We're
to
gonna
that.
hit our 200 soon.
That is math and how it works. That is true.
Number go up.
Check that. That's true. You can check all those out on Patreon, but also on your podcatcher of choice. On all the socials. Watch Dead Male. And until next week, as always, all you mother truckers, please keep chilling.
Americano, just like me.